Cheers. Good morning. How's everyone doing up there in YouTube land? Dave from Colorado. I'm impressed. Hey, Johnny. Welcome from London time. Is it a foggy day in London town? It's a foggy day in Portland town, but the sun's coming out today. London and Portland have a very similar weather pattern. David, good morning. Great to see you all. Thanks for joining me today in this lovely fall day for a beautiful Django Reinhardt composition bonus. I often like to do these live streams, just so you know, just kind of a little hang, essentially. Foggy eyes. I think you guys are all on Patreon. Thank you again for being a member of my Patreon community, of course. That is where I put all of my teaching materials and PDFs and tabs and bonus video lessons. You guys all know that. I think I always try to clarify the tier levels, because there are different tiers. You know, you can support me at the you can actually just join and take advantage of some of the free posts that I just to be a part of my community without paying. You can be a part of my coffee tier, which buys me a cup of coffee, kind of a half a cup of coffee here in Portland. You can be at the bronze tier, which gets you tabs to all of my lead sheets and some other stuff, of course. The silver tier, I'm just clarifying this because there's some questions, gets you all of my PDFs and tabs and etudes, everything, any PDF that I have, the silver tier. And then that also gets you access to my Sound Slice practice videos, which I really highly recommend. I use them for myself for practicing. And that's kind of what Patreon really is like a little community of folks interested in this music and wanting to learn from me and practice with me, etc. The gold tier gets you access to most of my video lessons, the workshops and classes. The platinum tier gets you access to all of my everything on Patreon, just not a private lesson. The next tier, the diamond tier, gets you a 30-minute private lesson with me once a month. And then we talk about whatever song you want to talk about, topics. I kind of give direction to folks on what to study on Patreon, because all of my materials are on there. So without further ado, I do have I have some materials on Patreon for Nuage, just to, let's see, of what's available. Well, besides the lead sheet, of course, the basic lead sheet, that's what I'm going to be covering today, is the tabs for the melody on how I like to do it. Everybody, but I do it different ways, and you'll see some fancier fancier chords. You know, these are all tabbed out here. I've got inversion, just showing you some things here. Type in the chat again where you're at if you're joining in. I'm just kind of getting in a little introduction here on this beautiful song. Oh, I've got some etudes for you gypsy jazzers. Want to work on your soloing? I got etude number 1. They're all my own, working out my ideas. Etude number 2. It's all on Patreon, by the way. Etude number 3. And if this is etude number 2, sorry. Etude number 3. I've got a score version where I wrote out the melody and then the basic score of the basic chords. I'm going to show you kind of some simple today and also some fancier chords. Oh, and I've got a chord melody, of course, etude. A chord melody for guitar, which is this. So, you know, that's all on Patreon. Like I recommend the silver in to my community, and that will get you access to the PDFs and tabs and Sound Slice practice videos. But if you want the bonus videos, which I already have a lot on Nuage, because I classes, my Gypsy jazz classes, that's all available, the gold tier. You're going to see some different charts. I think in the Django Fake book, there's a version in the key of F. perhaps if you all have that Django 2008 fake book, that's not the key. I'm going to show it to you. Django did record it in F. He also recorded it in the key of G, and that's the key I'm going to show you. So hello, if you're just tuning in, thumbs up. I didn't plug this yet, but I appreciate the thumbs up here if you're watching this. That helps with the YouTube algorithms and stuff. And we're going over the beautiful song Nuage. I've got my Strat today for no particular reason, probably because I just wanted to plug into my amplifier. So, and I'm going to try to get a good view here. Again, I do recommend that you grab the tabs for this that are on the link in the description for the melody at least. Otherwise, you're going to just learn it the old-fashioned way, me showing it to you. Type in the chat if you're Patreon, if you're here. Coffee, Jeffrey, thank you. Coffee and guitars, I love it. Feel free to type in the chat any song requests that you have in the future. Again, I'm doing this one here. This one is sent out to Johnny, who's attending this. He just joined Patreon recently and mentioned Nuage, and I said, hey, why not do a live stream on this classic song? I have lessons on it already, but I just wanted to share a live stream on it. So here's how I play the melody, and you got to get the pickup notes. Okay, I do it all on the second string, C sharp. We're in the key of G, don't forget. Okay, like a little half step neighbor tone to the A, 10th fret. So if we're talking tabs here, this is an intro lesson. I'm gonna pretend you've never learned it before. Chromatic, walk down. Don't worry about the chord yet. I'm just playing the melody. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. That's how easy it is. 4, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1. You can do it all with one finger. Django played with 2 fingers. We're just going to play with 1 finger today. Oh, I snuck in a couple fingers. Let's do that again. It starts on beat 2. This is important that you know that the pickup note. I'll show you the F again, but hopefully you'll get it from my arrangement from it. Well, yeah, sometimes I do. I'm looking at my chord melody arrangement, which is also there too. So chord melody arrangement, I like often, or when I'm playing live. Then I do this little embellishment around the D note. That's the important note, not the C sharp. This is the important note. And I love the 2-5. 2 5s. A lot of charts, again, like that Django fake book, they only showed just a 5. They just showed E flat 7, then D7, and then G, or just G in the book. But I play G major 7. This is all the beautiful stuff that I like to add. And maybe Django did that. I know other players have definitely done it too. So I'm just kind of embellishing what I've heard. So let's get the basic melody. That was just a little chord melody there. Let's check out the comments. Ooh, Stella. That's a beautiful song. Stella by Starlight. That's a nice pre-Christmas song. I'm not sure how Stella, I have to look at the words. Is that a Christmas song? But that's definitely a jazz standard with a gorgeous melody. Really extended Victor Young song. All right, but not today. Type in the comments. I take requests all the time. I'm always looking for new songs that I haven't taught. I've got so many songs on Patreon. But again, it's nice to hit some new songs. Do this, you guys. Ooh, that'd be a good one. Only You. Only You. But that's not the tune. Maybe that inspired Only You. The Platters, right? So here's a melody. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. That's chromatic. 4, 1. So that from here, A, chromatic, that means every fret, hold that note for 3 counts. 4, 1. That's truly chromatic down to the D. So essentially, we have. That's what the tune is. And later on, we'll transpose it, because Django did this in his composition, to the 4-chord key of C. Same thing. I'll show you that next. I mean, that's the B section there. Okay, so beautiful song, beautiful melody. Learn the melody. Do not do not ignore the melody on Nuage. It's all about the melody. The chords are great, of course. We'll talk about that next. But let's get the melody down. Oh, I don't have my whammy bar. That's a good thing. I want to whammy it up. You can add a little. You can add some embellishments. You know, whatever. It's a G chord. You can add some G licks. 2, 3, 4, 1. Add some slides, some vibrato. I'm going to show you this little walk up. I keep doing this. G major 7. It's a 3-note shape of A minor 6. You can even call it diminished because we don't have the 5th. The 5th, flat 5. We don't know if it's A minor 6 or A dim 7. I'm just calling it A minor 6. But I might call it diminished, like I'm going to say it here. B flat dim, and then G slash B. So if you don't have that, let's learn this walk up. G major 7. 3-note voicings, A minor 6. It's the same voicing, but I'm calling it now B flat dim 7, and then G6. So you can throw that in as a little filler. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Little light vibratos, nice. And here's a walk up. And the rhythm can change however you're feeling. You might go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. You can play with the rhythm. You can goof around with all you want, adding some other notes in as well. You can even do chords. I'm just doing parallel like this, minor 7. So you can have a lot of fun with goofing around with the melody once you learn the basic melody. Ooh, maybe some add 9s. Maybe again. And then add some filler too. So that's the first phrase. We have to do that twice, just so you know. And the chords, I'm going to show you the chords. We'll just go section by section since this is kind of a breakdown lesson for you. I'm going to show you what I'm doing, and I'm going to also talk about what other people do sometimes to simplify it. But I like the 2-5. I like B flat minor 7, B flat minor 7, grip shape, E flat 9. Okay, and then A minor 7 flat 5, D7, G major 7. Walk up, A minor 6, B flat dim 7, G slash B. And I have my pinky down just in case I hit the 2nd string. But I'm only really thinking 3-note voicings. It makes a great chord melody with these shapes. Right out of the shapes. Okay. Any questions? How you guys doing? Let's see. Who's all tuned in here? Yeah, if you like this, please do this. That helps me a lot. And I really appreciate that. I appreciate you checking it out. And I don't know, you guys already may know this song, and want to get some other ideas. So this is a kind of a introduction lesson. Okay, so here are the chords now, and we'll pretend the melody is being played by you. Do do dee do 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 do. Little Johnny Smith chord there heading into the next 8 bars. Hopefully you got those basic chords. Just a few things that I was doing here. A minor 7 flat 5. When I go to D7, regular D7, sometimes I start with the flat 9 first. My fingers look a little contorted there, but then I resolve it to the D7. So you get this nice, beautiful flat 9 trick. But you could just simply think your cowboy D7. That flat 9 really adds that color. So again, when you're doing the melody, right here, and then, okay, so D7 flat 9, D7, G major 7. Very small details, but I think it's important. Get a little funky. So now what Django does after that first section, closes out in a key of G. The first 8 bars, the cadence is on the 1 chord, G major. But now he's taking us to a 2-5 to the relative minor. Here's our trick. G major, E minor. You walk down 3 frets. If I said, what's the relative minor of G major? Hopefully you guys know all my tricks now. What's the relative minor of G major? You go down 3 frets. Minor sad, down. Major's happy. Okay? So the 2-5 in front of that is F sharp half dim, aka F sharp minor 7 flat 5. Okay. Here's F sharp minor 7. If you don't know your flat 5, just take your minor 7 and flat that 5. So make sure you learn your the notes as far as what numbers these are. Minor 7 flat 5. Here's another way to think of it. A minor 6. And then here's A minor, and then add the 6 on top, but put it in the bass instead. A minor 6 is equivalent to F sharp half dim. Okay, it's the same chord. So that means we can do stuff like this. I went F sharp half dim, then I quickly went to A minor 6 because they're the same 4 notes inverted, and then I went to the B7. And then my trick is I go to the 3 of the B7, which is D sharp, and I do diminished 7. So you get a nice little chord melody style comping like this. Or you can even keep the bass line moving by going. So you got something like this. So E minor, when you arrive to E minor, I'm just connecting it to G6 because this E minor 7 and G6 are the same. So these are some really nice little chord melody. I put a little F sharp diminished chord. So again, fun with comping. Hey John, welcome. Oh, Dark Days. My pleasure, John. I don't know if I've seen you here. Are you on Patreon? Your name seems familiar. Zelina? Thank you, Zelina. I don't know you either. Tell me if you guys are on Patreon or not. let's see. I'm going back to some comments here because, this was a live stream and I'm not just talking to myself. Melodic minor on the G. Would you incorporate the melodic minor on the G? I'm not sure what you're talking about. Or C, C melodic minor. Minor 4, for the minor 4, I would. If I'm doing this C, G6, C minor. The minor 4, C melodic minor. But I didn't really talk about minor 4. But for soloing, I'll talk about some quick ideas for that in a second when we get to that topic. Okay, so the melody is this. I like to do this. Kind of some bebop-y enclosure. So you can check out my chord melody. What did I do on my chord melody arrangement? Yeah, I got some little fancier stuff there going on. You can check out again my PDFs and all that stuff. I do recommend it if you really love this song. I put a lot of time into a lot of these PDFs that I have available. Probably, and again, the fancier chords. If you're like, hey, I want to know those chords, it's all tabbed out. My etudes, my soloing. If you want to know more about how I would solo, and really importantly, the basic lead sheet, my basic lead sheet of how I'm playing the melody and showing it to you right now. That's all in tab. So look at right here on the F sharp. I'm gonna stick with this. Usually I don't look at my own arrangements or anything, but that's the basic melody. And then the chord here is F sharp minor 7 flat 5. But don't forget, that's the same as A minor 6. See? But the rhythm player would be doing this probably because we want the bass. And then for me, what I think is important is that you know your A minor 6. And then you turn that to diminished. And then E minor 6. Which could also be G major 7. This is a basic 2-5. Don't get me started on soloing, but this is some beautiful stuff. F sharp half dim, F sharp half dim, F sharp half dim, F sharp half dim, F sharp half dim. Those are all A minor 6. You should really know your inversions. So I went F sharp half dim, F sharp half dim, F sharp half dim, F sharp half dim. Then I diminished it for the B7. That's so easy because you don't have to think about each of the 4 B7 inversions proper. B7, 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 B7. We just think diminished 7. Every gypsy jazz player uses that technique. I'm not saying all the time, but they use this, and that's when you bust out your diminished 7 arpeggios to go along with that. So again, and there I did the Wes Montgomery trick. On the E minor, I played G major 7, which is a beautiful sound. This sound sounds great on this song. You just run your G major 7 inversions on the E minor. So I whack the E, not too hard because it's a ballad. G major 7, G major 7, G major 7, G major 7, and then the arpeggio. Again, these are just some little soloing tricks already that I'm talking about because you want to know. And on the B7 chord, by the way, that's when I bust into the melodic minor. And then I play E melodic minor. I've got a little strategy there for that 2-5. I'll share that with you in a second here, but we're talking too much soloing. Good morning, Leo. Leo, are you on Patreon? Oh, you are, because you must, if you have all my stuff. Mark Knopfler, Tommy Emmanuel, those guys are masters. Cheers. Thank you so much for tuning in and for the nice message. Again, I'm just kind of walking you through some of this. One. You can pick the chord like I did. The melody actually should be this. It should go to the third. I went to the root. A little cliche. So here's that B section melody when it goes to the 2-5 to the relative minor. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1. And again, I want to fill in some voices here. I'll show you that, but let's do that again. Again, that's a lower neighbor tone to the B, like we're on the B7 chord, or the E minor, this, or B7. Okay, because that's basically what it is. And some guys don't even play the 2-5. They just do the 5, B7, B7, E minor. Okay, you don't have to do the 2-5, but I love the 2-5. It adds so much movement to it, especially at a ballad tempo. So here's that melody again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And I'm adding a little filler there. That's all in my chord melody arrangement too, because it's nice to throw in those chords around there. Thanks, guys, again for tuning in. Let's keep going on with this. This is a little bit more in depth than one of my older lessons on YouTube, which is one of my early lessons, I think about 2012 or 13, I don't know. But this is, of course, a little bit expanded today. I'm talking a little bit more because it's all live. So thank you again for tuning in, and let me know in the comments if you have any suggestions or requests on songs. Usually I save that for Patreon members, but I'm also just love to hear from you guys, because you guys are the future Patreon members. Well, everybody that's on Patreon pretty much has come from YouTube. So let's keep going, you guys. So chordally so far, here's what we got. You don't have to do that, but that's fun. Now I go 2-5-1, 2-5-1. And I'm going to F sharp half dim, B7. I put a sharp 5. E minor 9. Okay, now after the E minor, we're in the key of E minor for that portion, those 4 bars. Now the E minor becomes a 2. So now we're going to go to A7. And I'm going to go to A13 for my chords. A flat 13, very common to do the lower side slipping back to A7. And then D7, the real 5 of G, up half step. And that's your first 16 bars. Okay. Let's get more of the melody down. So far in that B section there, the measure 9. Notice I'm just ad-libbing some of those chords. Okay, so now we haven't gotten to this part yet. 1. Okay, and different guitar players or people playing the song will do different things on the melody here. This is an old version of Django's. E minor fragment, and that's on the A7. Goes to the A7, A flat 7, 2 and 3, and the scale fragment again on the E, and then that's the fun part. 1, 2 and 3 and 4. Oh, let 1, 2. Get that triple O. You can do that, or you might go, or this. You can kind of, make it a little bit more exotic. Yep, and that's the 5. And then back. At that point, you might choose to go up an octave to the melody to make it have some variation. You might do it in octaves. So what I'm saying is, learn the melody, learn to vary it up, so it's not always the same each time. That makes it interesting. So the melody, the main theme does restate right there. I'll keep going. Now here's where it changes. So now this is where it transposes to the 4 chord, which is key of C. A little arpeggio on the G. I like to do it. Okay, but you can just do this. But it's nice to go. And now this chromatic, that's E flat minor to the A flat 7, 2, 5. D minor 7, flat 5 with the melody. Chromatic still, G7, and then C. And once we're in C, I like to do this walk up. C major 7, D minor 7, D sharp minor 7, or E flat minor 7, and then E minor 7. Okay. Ooh, what a difference a day makes. That's a beautiful song. Yeah, great ballad. Thanks, Dave, for that comment. I like those thirds. Okay, you guys get this? 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. See, that's how easy it is. So it's just like the other main theme, but now it's in the key of the 4. Now, after the chords again were E flat minor 7 or 9 in this case, A flat 7, which is a 2, 5, and then D minor 7 flat 5 to the G7. You do sharp 5, and then C major 7. Walk up. And now it goes to the relative, I gotta say that again. Now it goes to the parallel minor. The parallel minor of C major is C minor. So the C major chord turns to minor. You go to C minor 6. And it's right on the 5th degree, this decoration. C minor. Let's see. I wrote it out like this on my chart. Again, you can do a lot of variations on that, but mainly as long as you target that C minor. F7. G major. Then it goes to the 1. Last time we've heard this theme 4 times now. G, D7 flat 9, D at the 13. That was minor 4, and then the resolve chord, G major 7. I'm adding in a little major 7 with the sharp 11. A little Pat Metheny influence there. So there you guys go. You have the melody and the chords. and some chord melody ideas. Always learn the melody first, understand the harmony, understand how you can harmonize the melody. Learn your inversions. Learn those subs, the diminished tricks. Coming from the minor key, Johnny has a question. From the minor key change. Yeah. Well, here's that B section again. Right here. Minor. And I put an F7 there, F13. So that melody that connects it is this. And that's now minor. It's the same note down here. It's major here. Da da dee da 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 dee da 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 da. And then it goes to minor. And then that was C minor. And then F7. And then the melody goes G major. Walk up. That's very important again. G major 7, A minor 6, B flat dim to get this walk up. It's just a 3-note shape. Okay, because you're going to fill that in quite a bit. And then the last theme again. Maybe C melodic minor. And then maybe F sharp minor or A over G. If you want, that kind of Lydian vibe with that introspective sound. Hey, you're welcome. So let's maybe talk about some soloing ideas if you guys are down with that. Again, if you're enjoying this, I appreciate this. That helps out quite a bit. So when soloing, a lot of people just kind of play E flat 7, D7, and then G6. That's what I recommend, that you start off with the basic. Without the 2 5s is what I'm saying. So this is where you can bust out your Django licks. E flat 9, I'm going to take out the 2 5s. Play B flat Dorian or melodic minor. Maybe that's what you meant, Johnny, about melodic minor. If you're running scales, otherwise you can think B flat minor 6. Just kind of again playing some kind of licks again in this style. Not getting too West Montgomery here on you, but I like more of the West flavor. And then on the D7, you can keep it inside, or D7 flat 9, and then run your G harmonic minor. And then on the G major 7, G major 7. So on this chord, or the scale. And that was just a G major scale on the G7. So I'm just talking about some scale ideas, really. E flat 9. You can play B flat Dorian if you want to get bluesy, but I would rather have melodic minor. That gives it that dreamy E flat 9, sharp 11 flavor, B flat melodic minor. D7 flat 9, and that gives us a sharp 5 flat 9. This was very important that you kind of think about what flavor do you want with chords, this is going to determine what scale you use, and then what arpeggios you can use, or even some people like to think just triads, just to think simple, but we're superimposing, so it's not so simple anymore because it's not just face value. But this is a D7 flat 9 sharp 5, and that the G harmonic minor gets us that flavor. And then G major 7. Maybe you want a Lydian flavor, so maybe you might do F sharp minor penta. I say that usually for like the ending of a section or the ending of a song, for that matter. But maybe just one G major, kind of more down home. Melodic minor, harmonic minor, and that was my hack. That's what I call the caravan hack. Oh, sorry, wrong key. I was playing caravans for a second. This, where you're just thinking two triads: D major, E flat major, D major, E flat major, D major, E flat major, D major, E flat. But it's super easy because all you need to do is target the D triad and just remember, oh, I can visualize this D chord, so I just do my 2-finger Django style half step above. Wherever you can visualize that D, and that gives you that harmonic minor flavor. So if you don't know your harmonic minor scale, just do that hack. Watch my caravan hack video. Check out my lessons. Virginia, thanks for joining us. I didn't say a proper hello. Virginia's on Patreon, and it's nice to see some Patreon members. A lot of you guys are on Patreon, so thanks. Now I'm just talking about some quick hack soloing strategies. Melodic minor, B flat. Harmonic minor, maybe the hack. G major. Arpeggio, or just scale. If you're a scale person. Or just a pretty melody. So do that again. And okay, we could do some 2-5 licks. And oh, by the way, I do have to say this: A minor 7 flat 5. If I didn't tell you this already, I love, because this is a thing that a lot of my private students have said over the years. I don't know what to do on minor 7 flat 5. I say, well, don't think of it as minor 7 flat 5. Go up 3 frets and play minor 6. They're like, ooh, I know what to do on C minor. So you can play C melodic minor and then G major. So there's a new little soloing strategy, little path. You can play on the E flat 9, B flat melodic minor, on the A minor 7 flat 5, C melodic minor, and then resolve it to G major. So again, those are some nice, sweet sounds. You can also bebop it up. Boobity 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 boobity. And get beboppy on this if you feel like it. And then bobo dee da 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 da. Remember this: A minor 6. See, the chord on the charts as F sharp half dim, but reinterpret it as A minor 6. And then E minor. So I guess since I'm on this topic of melodic minor, I think melodic minor is a really beautiful sound. Django used it quite a bit, and it's a skill that's really important to know. So I'm going to hit a little bit more melodic minor for this lesson here. On my etudes, by the way, for those just joining in, I do recommend that you get my PDF. I recommend that you join Patreon. Get my PDFs, get the tabs. I've got 3 etudes. Sounds like I'm going to do another 4th etude, demonstrating, some of these scale choices too that I'm talking about here, like the melodic minor and all that good stuff too. So again, it's all available. But right now I'm just talking about some soloing strategies here. So here's a 2-5-1 soloing strategy on the F sharp half dip. Reinterpret that to A minor 6. Okay, then on the B7, go up a half step and play C melodic minor. Okay, and that gets you these. You can see you can see it right here. That's C minor 6, C minor 6 9. You get all these beautiful colors on the B note. Okay, B, C, flat 9, sharp 9, and then the third, flat 7, sharp 5. Beautiful, beautiful colors. But there's just a little strategy to that. You have on the F sharp half dim, A minor 6, melodic minor, go up 3 frets. And then on the E minor, melodic, or I'll say it again, E melodic minor. So again, here's a great opportunity to work on your melodic minor scales. You get some, licks and stuff. You can get bluesy on that E minor if you wish to bring it on home, so it doesn't sound like you're just running through your melodic minor exercises. All right, I'm going to go on a little bit more. Hope you're enjoying this. Please, let me know. I guess we're melodic minoring it out today. The next chord is after the E minor is E7. So on A7, why not do the E melodic minor? And that gives you A7 flat, but we were just on E melodic minor, so why not stay on that is what I should have said. But we can also do maybe something different, like the whole tone. If you want to get this flavor, flat 5. But if you don't want that, if you want to be more inside, then just stick with mixolydian mode. Or stick to your blues licks. If you want. And then on the D7, and again, I like A. When I play D7, I instantly think A minor, and then A melodic minor for my scale. See this shape? D9, do this. Now you know what melodic minor you can always play. If you want that 9 with the flat 5, sharp 11. But if you want the whole tone, that's a different. But they all share. So, think about what you want harmonically. Do you want this flavor? Do you want this? Or do you want this? Flat 9. Then I do the harmonic minor to bring that out. B flat melodic minor. C melodic minor. Major. 2-5. Maybe 2-5. 2-5. C melodic minor. Or Dorian. Maybe keep it inside on this 2-5. Inside is Dorian. But if you want this flavor, the dreamy flavor, then do C melodic minor. And then back to the one. Maybe B minor penta. If you're a penta player. There's 3 pentatonics within the key that you can play, but the 2, I'm talking about minor pentas. I like to think minor pentas, like most guitar players. On a major chord, off the 3. So you have G major, B minor. You get this. That's the Girl from Ipanema. The trick is you go up to the 3. And I talked about this in my recent Easy Soloing Strategies workshop. I'll plug, that's all available on Patreon, my whole catalog of video lessons on this, where I talk a lot about techniques. And Girl from Ipanema as well, if you're into that song. But I also like minor penta, half step below. And that gives you the Lydian flavor, meaning the sharp 11. Then we're almost done. And you can just think E flat 9, D7, G harmonic minor. But I like the C melodic minor so much. And then G major, C minor, and that was the G major 9. But I went to the minor 4, and that's again the melodic minor. If you want to bring out those scales. Pentatonic. Again, a little bit modern here on you guys today. But have fun with this. There's no rules to this. As you know, every player has different licks, different approaches. It's beautiful. So kind of talking about some things that I might not normally talk about in my beginner gypsy jazz class or whatever for soloing ideas. But again, if you do want to check out those video lessons, those are all cataloged on my Patreon page. Check it out, become a member. That's where I archive all of my lessons. This lesson will be going to Patreon. So I'm glad you tuned in today. It's going to go to my YouTube membership as well. Sometimes I leave them in public, but oftentimes they get cataloged. So these are kind of one-offs often, these live streams. If you want the tabs, again, go to Patreon for my arrangement, my etudes, my chords, solo, etc. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Appreciate it. Cheers.